subcompact crossovers. The segment has changed quite a bit over the past couple of years thanks to Chinese car manufacturers who've come into the market and tried to gear buyers more towards word of mouth and value for money. Ngayon, may mga ibang kotse katulad ng Ford EcoSport and Nissan Juke who have not been able to adjust as well. But we're here today with the all-new Honda HR-V to see how it stacks up against the rest of the competition. Okay guys, so now let's have a look at the exterior of the all-new Honda HR-V, and one of the first things that you will notice is that the design is starting to go the way that a lot of crossovers are these days. It's starting to look more and more like an SUV. Up front, you've got the bold face with the aggressive swept back headlights, and you've got a large grille here. It's plastic, but it's got a nice intricate design, and you've got the prominent Honda logo here. And one thing I really like about the rugged bumper down here is that you've got this, etong patalim na to, plus 5 horsepower yan. I'm joking, of course, but it's small details like this that show you that care went into this look. And you've got the 17-inch wheels here with the simple design. Frankly, I much prefer the one that you'll find on the base variant because it has a two-tone look and it's cleaner. We have the strong character line here, and as we move towards the back, the sloping roofline gives it a more crossover-ish feel and vibe. So it's starting to get sportier here. We've got the unified taillight design. And one thing I really like about this is that this whole strip lights up at night. It's not an exclusive thing where it's just the blinkers and the brake lights. The entire thing gets lit up, so it's really gonna pop out, especially in EDSA traffic. And capping things off, you've got another rugged bumper here with a little bit of gloss black paint and the turbo variant that points out that this is the top of the line offering. That's the all-new Honda HR-V's look for you. Tell us what you think about it in the comments. Now, when it comes to trunk space, I don't want to expect too much because this is a subcompact crossover after all, but let's have a look anyway. So let's open this up. And you've got a decent amount of room in here, maybe enough for one full-size maleta, some overnice bags. You've got these hollowed out spaces on the sides where you can put smaller items, maybe smaller bags or whatever. And to give you an idea of what kind of space we're talking about, Gina, can you please put that inside? So we've got a folding bike here, and check it out. There's, yeah. So, and we'd close it, but one thing I want to point out, one small gripe I have is this cover is kind of cumbersome to get rid of. So you've got, okay, that's one, two, and yeah, so that's how you get rid of it. It's not too big of a deal, but it is something that's worth pointing out. And we're gonna close this now, and perfect. And with the all-new Honda HR-V, you get two engine options. What we have here right now in front of us is the top-of-the-line turbo variant, and as the name implies, this one gets a turbocharger. It has a 1.5-liter engine, and total output is around 175 horsepower and 240 newton meters of torque. And we also have the base variant. That one also gets a 1.5-liter minus the turbo. Output of that one is 119 horsepower and 145 Nm of torque. And we're inside. You can probably tell that this is not the most spacious environment in the world, but frankly, I would rather call it cozy and not cramped. Now, the trick to achieving this was the use of materials inside. You'll find plenty of soft touch bits like here on the dashboard, and you'll find some on the door panels. You've got a nice compact steering wheel here that is incredibly nice to hold. Comfy seats with nice material. This is leather, but even the fabric ones on the base unit, it's actually pretty nicely done. And over here, we have the touchscreen infotainment system with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay compatibility. And since we're talking about connectivity now, I just have to say that I am very relieved to see na yung charging and data ports nandito na sa harap ng car under the dashboard. Yung setup data, you had to actually open the glove compartment. Then you would have to pull a separate cable out if you wanted to connect your smartphone. Tapos ako parang, anong klaseng setup to? Ang luma naman ito. And I am very happy to see that that problem has been addressed by designers. You move down here, you've got the drive mode selector. You've also got an electronic parking brake underneath that and the brake hold button. So now we're going to talk about space, and for that, I want to move you guys to the back. Now, earlier in the video, I was talking about space, or the lack thereof. And in nowhere in the car is this more apparent than here in the back seat, where, as you can see, there's kind of a lack of headroom for someone like me who's 5'9", 5'10"-ish in height. Okay, so we're driving around Honda's facility in Laguna now with the all-new Honda HR-V, and so far I haven't noticed one of the small gripes that I had with the previous generation of the vehicle, and it's that the CVT was kind of inconsistent at times in traffic. So far I have not felt that way about this version of the vehicle driving around this area at slow speed, so that's definitely something I'm happy to see. Another thing worth noting, look, the turning radius of this car is really small. I'm not exactly sure what it is. I haven't taken a look at it on the spec sheet. It's a tight turning radius. I'll just put it like that. As far as the cabin experience is while you're driving, the ride quality is pretty good, and it's much better compared to what I experienced with the previous iteration of the Honda HR-V. You're still gonna feel bumps and road imperfections, but it muffles out minor ones very well, and it does a good enough job of keeping things stable over bigger ones. And the steering is light enough for parking in the city and moving around tight streets, so there's very little to complain about when it comes to how things go on with the steering wheel of this thing. Safety wise, you've got a bunch of Honda sensing safety features on both variants of the vehicle. That includes adaptive cruise control, autonomous emergency braking, and automatic high beams. It also gets front airbags and side airbags, so you've got a fair bit of active safety features as well. Okay, so we're stopped here now in the test area, and we're gonna shift it to sport mode just to spice things up a little. And okay. Not bad. And the thing is, everything is kept smooth all throughout. So there you have it. It's actually a pretty fun experience, and you know what? Let's do that again. So sport mode, and I'll just show this off. Not bad at all. So yeah, some people are gonna have probably too much fun with this thing. Now, I'm sure you guys are wondering about the price. Well, at 1.25 million pesos for the base variant, and at almost 1.6 million pesos for the top spec version with the turbocharger, these things aren't cheap, and they definitely sit more towards the premium end of the subcompact crossover segment. I think the real question is whether it would make more sense for a buyer to consider something larger and more practical, like the Honda CR-V, which is 80,000 pesos more expensive than what's behind me today. It's definitely something you want to think about if you're checking out rides in the subcompact crossover segment. Now, we really want to know what you guys think about the all-new Honda HR-V in the comment section. This has been Dre Laurel for Top Gear Philippines, and I'll see you on the next one.